Hello, and welcome to the Journey with Janey podcast. I thought I would venture outside today. The sun was absolutely amazing first thing this morning, and life gets in the way, doesn't it? I had lots of little jobs to do. I should have listened to my own advice and gone and done it, and you would have seen the glorious sunshine. But hey ho, here we are. Welcome to episode 10 of season 3, the Quiet Field Rediscovery. And today I'm going to talk about the self you're remembering. So in recording this episode outside here today, listening to the birds, and I will be quiet towards the end for those of you not viewing. I'm sat down next to the stream in kind of a valley with a beautiful view of the sheep up the hill, and I'm just kind of perched on the side of the hill, sheltered from the wind, just actually lying lying on the ground, grounding. So there you go. And this morning I suddenly thought, wow, it's one of those early March days where the sun suddenly reminds you that winter won't last forever. Even though we did have snow here not so very long ago, the light felt warm when I walked the dogs first thing, and even as I sit here now, there is blue sky to my left, and I will turn the camera around when I am finished. Don't want to move the tripod because I want to be able for you to hear the water and the birds. So the reason I've recorded today is because it's Sunday and it's the 8th of March. Is it the 8th? Yeah, because it's International Women's Day. And it just felt right to record the episode today. So I've spent 5 or 10 minutes just sitting, listening to the stream, and 9 times out of 10 when I'm sat just listening to the stream, I close my eyes and I drift off to a world, and there's so much comes through, like ideas of the past, where I want to be in the future, that kind of thing. So I think International Women's Day, for all it's about celebrations and things, but for all of that, I think it's all about what women remember, the journeys they've been on, that kind of thing, because so many of us spend years seeking and looking for something different. I'm not saying I did before all of this happened, but we get into our own little routine. We build the careers, we support the families, we lead teams if that's the vibe that we've got when we're in the working environment, the corporate world. We solve problems on a day-to-day basis, and in solving problems we're also selling to, be it our husband or partner, our kids on a daily basis. But somewhere along the way we quietly put parts of ourselves on hold or push them to one side, not because we want to, but because we feel the expectations of life as a mother, a wife, a corporate high flyer, whatever situation you were in as a woman. Life forces us almost to focus elsewhere, and this is what I've realised when I wrote my chapter for the Show Your Light Collective that there comes a moment sometimes in stillness, sometimes through change, whatever that may be. Most of you know the change that caused me to be sat talking to you like this. Sometimes through the storms that are sent to challenge us, but they're also there to make us stronger and begin to call us back to who we actually are. Not loudly, just maybe as a little whisper somewhere along the line. And like I said in the book for the Show Your Light book chapter, The Circle of the Storm, which is the title for my chapter, that's what this season of rediscovery has been about for me. Not reinventing myself, but remembering who I actually am. And I think that I don't even know who it was, but somebody actually said to me, we've got the old Janey back, but a newer version. And actually, they're right. They are 100% right. And it's been about remembering the parts of me that always loved nature, growing up on the farm as a kid, and the parts that noticed all the patterns. Now, they can be all sorts. I get, patterns of whatever. The parts that listen deeply. So it's almost like, I think I spoke about the finding of the diary from 1984 that I wrote, and it's the patterns that I had as a kid that James could see himself in. And I think for me, it's trusting in that inner feeling, that intuition, those little whispers that are saying, there's got to be more. I feel a bit stuck. What do I do now? And I think that's where I that's where I've been. And I'm sitting here looking down onto the stream. I think those that's got watching on YouTube, you can see it flowing. And that's a good reminder, isn't it? Water doesn't try to be something else. It simply flows. I'm sat and it's like an S shape through the land that it's cut. It notices its own patterns. It moves forward, it flows, and it finds its own way past the obstacles, over the stones, through the narrow spaces. And it doesn't force its path. Yes, it creates different paths on its way, but it follows the flow that it's supposed to. Just think about that today. Do you flow like water? Do you float through life just carefree, and if nothing was an issue, how would it feel? And I think when you look at the social medias, I don't listen to the news, so I can't comment on that. I think many people are doing this right now, not forcing. They're actually taking time out, they're pausing to remember who they actually are. Remembering that strength doesn't have to look like constant output. It doesn't have to be, oh, there's such and such posting again. And remembering that wisdom grows in stillness. Remembering that creativity doesn't need permission. And I've spent, the last 4 to 6 weeks maybe on a weekly painting class, which has been absolutely amazing. I'm not saying you all have to go out and pick your paintbrushes up, but, you know, do something creative. Could even just creativity can be anything. It can be sitting reading a book. When was the last time you actually sat and read a book for pleasure, not for studying or flicking through the newspaper? Don't know whether people even read newspapers now. And International Women's Day often focuses on progress, which is right. But as I sit here today next to this stream, I'm thinking about something quieter. I think it's about the reconnection. The moment when we stop asking who we should be and start listening to who we already are. For me, these past, what are we on, episode 9? These past 8 weeks have been exactly that, and prior to that, from the end of October last year. Standing in storms, because there's been storms, recording in studios, resting when I needed to. If your body needs to rest, stop and sleep, or stop and sit for 5 minutes. Like me lying here, stop and ground yourself, just lie down. You'll be surprised how much brighter and more energetic you feel if you stop. You could push through, fair enough, you could push through. But I started to trust in my own pace, the pace I want to go at, with no pressure from anybody else, doing me, being me. And that word, being, be who you want to be. Each step I've taken has been part of my becoming, as I call it. Yes, it may be someone new, but not new. And that's probably making no sense whatsoever. But more recognising who I've been growing into all this time, the lessons that or the storms that I've gone through in my life, the lessons I've learned, for me to be sat here talking to you guys. And I've been growing it all along, that old me, but a newer version. I had to go through all those storms to be where I am today. And maybe, just maybe, that's what the emergence into spring is inviting us all to do this time of year. It makes us think about what we've been preparing for all over the winter. You know, even to the point of, with the sun shining through the window and the smile, not a forced smile, just smiling because the sun's shining, and how good that makes you feel. So have we been preparing all winter for the sunshine coming? And I think today, wherever you're listening from, I'm going to sit for a little bit once this is finished. I'll do the whole finish, but then I'll leave 5 minutes at the end just with the water, and I'm just going to lie back with my eyes closed. So today, wherever you're listening from or watching from, I'm going to leave you with this one question. Not what should I become next, but who am I remembering? And just think about that. Because the person that you're becoming may simply be the one who has been waiting patiently for you to notice. Somewhere in the background, that little voice in your head, those little words you keep seeing places. And if you're sitting in that space of not quite knowing what comes next, remember that you're not alone. Nature reminds us, doesn't it, that meaning often reveals itself quietly, one step at a time. So until next time, take care and go and live life. Thank you for joining me on the Journey with Janey podcast. It's always a pleasure to be with you on a Wednesday or whenever you are downloading and listening to the Journey with Janey podcast. All I ask is that you subscribe so you never miss an episode. And also remember, there are ways of contacting me through my website on www.janeywithjaney.com. There's a contact button to book a call, which is a free 15-minute call. And all the details of the ways to work with me are on my website. I'm always available for a chat, a DM, or just a message via LinkedIn or Instagram. We all have the social handles now. Just drop me a message and let's talk. And remember, we don't have to do this alone, which is exactly why I am here to help guide you on this journey. I am the me that I needed 3 years ago, and I hope and feel that I can help you on your journey of moving forward by taking small, simple steps. So from me to you, take care.